well as athletic players, so this should be a very good matchup.
This is a Salem Lutheran school deep with experience. All 8th graders on the roster in front of us. Do you expect to see any sort of, do you expect to see a low-scoring defensive battle or more of an offensive up-tempo type game? Or are we just going to have to wait and see because we don't really know much about either team?
It's definitely going to be one of those games we're going to have to wait and see what each coach is going to decide to do. But specifically speaking for the St. James team, they do have a tall front court, so we're going to look to see if they can stay out of foul trouble and possibly make this a defensive game instead of an up and down, back and forth game. And just underway will be the prayer, pregame prayer. And right after the pregame prayer, we'll get you set with the tip-off of the game.
All right, and the prayer is over, and we are ready to play some ball here. Salem Lutheran Saints out of Tomball, Texas, taking on the St. James Crusaders of Lafayette, Indiana. And in a weekend like this, day one of championship play, and the team either moves on or drops to the consolation bracket. One of the nice things about this tournament format is win or lose, you're guaranteed to play 2 days in a row. So regardless of whether you win or lose today, you will play guaranteed to play on Saturday, guaranteed at least 2 games.
Well, that's a tremendous setup. It gives each team the chance to continue playing, to continue getting experience. Of course, you would like to start off winning this game to play in the championship bracket, but nonetheless, you get that experience and you get to play another day.
We're about to get the tip-off here underway. St. James wearing the home blue, Salem wearing the away white. And St. James will get the tip-off. Here come the Crusaders. First shot, no good. Rebound goes to Hunter Gatewood for the Saints, and here they come. This is the Texas 2009 state champions, and they did it in dominant fashion, winning by almost 20 points a game in the state tournament. Here's Caleb Bartholomew for 3. That one's long. No good. Rebound goes over to Peyton Drazid. Oh. Nicholas Shippers knocks in the tray, and it's 3-0 right off the bat. Looks like this Salem, Texas team is a little gun happy from behind the arc, Dion.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a testament to see if Salem Lutheran is going to be able to rebound. You can't rebound those long misses. You're not going to get a chance to get out into the open floor. So you got to rebound those open misses, box out, so that you can play on the other side of the court.
You know, and at this level, this is the National Lutheran Tournament. As a nice drive there by Michael Southern gives St. James their first 2 points. This is the type of atmosphere where these are the best teams in the country, and you know they're very evenly matched. Not a lot of disparity on both sides. So it really comes down to which team executes their game plan better, and usually it comes down to some of the little things.
Absolutely, the team that operates and manufactures points is definitely going to be the team that has the advantage, the team that can execute in their own offensive set.
Right now, St. James content to work it around the perimeter. This is number 42, Peter Ripke. Ripke shoots and misses, and here comes Salem, Texas. Shot by Draz, no good. Here come St. James. And it's going to leave it up to Michael Southern, his second basket of the game, and he gives St. James their first lead. Shot no good. Offensive rebound goes back to the Saints, and they'll set up their offense. Nicholas Shippers buries a triple, and so far 6 points on the board for the Saints, all from threes. You think this is the kind of team we're seeing right off the bat?
Absolutely. It comes down to what I said just a few moments ago. Can you rebound? Second chance points is 6 of them so far off second chance points, all perimeter three-pointers. So this St. James team is definitely going to have to bear down and box out and try to get these rebounds because Salem will punish you if they're allowed second chances.
Well, right now it is Ripke with the basketball, and he'll pass it over to Vendenventer. Joe Vendenventer, 8th grader, gives it back to Southern. Southern shoots it up again, no good. Rebound, bounces out to Hunter Gatewood. Hunter Gatewood throws it inside. They're going to kick it back out and work the ball around the perimeter. Another three, and it's good.
Nicholas Shippers and Hunter Gatewood, the returning 8th graders to this team. They know a lot about this tournament, and they're very excited to play in this tournament. Both of these young guys here are the spearheads for the Salem team as a crowd erupts to their feet right now.
Right off the bat, 3 big three-pointers have the Saints with a 5-point lead, 9-4 early on in the first quarter. And Nicholas Shippers has been the story so far. Three three-pointers to lead the Saints. Right now, Michael Southern's getting the job done on the offensive end for Lafayette, but it's not enough because threes are worth more than twos in basketball. And, you know, I think how can St. James find a way to shut them down on the perimeter and stop preventing those long-distance dials?
Well, they're going to have to continue to be active with their hands. They're going to have to aggravate some shots. Once the ball reaches half court, you're going to have to step up a little bit and force them to play an inside-out game. If you allow them to step up and settle into their threes as well as get offensive rebounds, and it really gets your defense out of sync. So you have to commit them to one-shot opportunities, and you have to execute your defense at the half more so than allowing them to step up, as they're doing right now.
Let's see if they can do it. Nick Shippers is going to be a marked man after hitting 3 big triples. Salem's going to work it around. This Salem team from Texas, 30-2, winning their games by an average of 30 points. And that is impressive. Oh my goodness. Nothing but twine. Someone take out the fire extinguisher. Nick Shippers is feeling it. And a steal right off the bat. And a double dribble will slow down, but right now Salem with all the momentum early on, and they've got a 12-4 lead right now.
Well, Nick Shippers has been doing this all season long. He averages about 14 points a game, and in the championship game, he had 5 three-pointers to lead his team to a victory. He's their top shooter, and he's their top rebounder, and he's demonstrated why that is in this game today.
Certainly not shy to launch it up from behind the arc, and so far he's got 4 three-pointers to lead the team. Here he is with the ball. Skips it all the way across, draws air, but a good rebound, and Southern comes out and rejects that one away. So good defensive play there by St. James.
Michael Southern, the forward for St. James.
Long shot, no good. Rebound goes to Lafayette. That's Ben Griggs. He'll pull it down and give it to Ripke. Pete Ripke coast to coast and scores. And St. James with their 3rd basket of the period. 2:10 left to go in the first. Here's Shippers. Gives it over to Hunter Gatewood, skips it inside. This is Caleb Bartholomew, scores.
And Bartholomew has done an excellent job so far playing the baseline and getting himself open. He's been roaming the baseline, getting himself open opportunities.
Battle in the corner, and it's going to be tied up. Jump ball goes to Salem, Texas. No, to St. James, excuse me.
We've done a lot of talk about Salem Lutheran, but St. James is also a team that can light up the scoreboard themselves. They've got 3 three-point shooters on their team, tied in three-point averages.
Here's one of them, Ripke. That's short. And St. James is a team with Valparaiso experience. I believe they were here last year. So this is a team that is not going to be nervous coming out and playing their first game this afternoon here at the national tournament. Here's Gatewood, no good. Iron Southern gives it all the way across the floor. This is Robbie Alvarado. Alvarado a little strong off the iron, and the rebound will fall in the hands of Dennison. Kick ball. It'll stay white possession.
And one major advantage Salem has is their point guard. They allow their point guard, one of the taller players on the court, to control the ball. He's got good ball handling skills, and he does dribble with his head up. So that's going to be something that's going to be good for Salem, the opportunity to set up their plays and run their offense.
And you would think at this level, you know, you really want to have your taller guys playing down on the post, but finally, Chippers doesn't connect, but who can blame him for the start he's had? But sometimes it's beneficial to have your taller players run the offense. Michael Southern again, and he's keeping his team in. It is 14-8. About 45 seconds to go. Hunter Gatewood is a taller player. Here he is with the ball, but he can run the offense. You know, it really doesn't matter how tall you are as long as you have your best ball handler running the offense, in my opinion.
And he's clearly demonstrated that he is their best ball handler. And one strength that he does have, especially at this age, you traditionally see more of your ball handlers concentrating on their dribble, and they look down. Instead, he's more confident in his dribble. He looks up. He does have a tendency to look down while he's dribbling, but he definitely looks up, and he's able to get his teammates involved in the game.
Like we said, a lot of times it's just the little things, the little fundamentals like dribbling with your head up, making that extra pass on a fast break. Like we've said, this level of competition is so high. It's the team that executes and doesn't beat themselves and make mistakes that will come out on top.
Absolutely. When you have tournament play like this, it's the team that executes with the least amount of energy. You have several games to play throughout the entire day, and you've got a whole weekend to play. The team that can execute without exerting the extra energy trying to correct mistakes is usually the team that goes further.
Here comes Salem right now. Parker Holla just checked in. He's got the ball. He gives it over to Gatewood. 16 seconds to go. Holla for three. Way long, and here comes Ripke, Peter Ripke. He's got 10, 9, Ripke still with the basketball. 7, 6, he better get something going soon. Shoots it over to Southern, inside, nice play! And as the first quarter ends, Salem Lutheran of Texas got off to a hot start with that three-point shooting, but don't look now, St. James from Lafayette is slowly working their way back inside. What'd you see out of the first quarter that you noted that stood out to you, Dion?
I saw athletic play, but more so we saw early on in the very beginning of the game, Shipper with a nice amount of three balls, getting his team the advantage early. And looking at their resume, this is something that they do a lot of, that they've done all game. They start out fast, they start out on top, and they just continue to mull you over throughout the rest of the game. They like to make you play from behind. So St. James is definitely a team, though. They're athletic. As you just saw on that last play, Michael Southern jumps over his defender, is able to turn around, recollect himself, gather up his shot, and put it up off the glass and in. Just the fundamentals, the sharp fundamentals here from the St. James team.
Not just athletic, but they've got experience. They're a team that got down by a lot, but they did not lose their cool because they've been in this situation before. Their coach has experience here at Valpo, and they weren't afraid, and they didn't lose their cool when they got down early, and they were slowly working their way back in this game.
Absolutely. They're continuing to play in their offensive set. They're not getting outside themselves. You've got to let Michael Southern go to work down low and get your team in and out opportunities.
Southern and Ripke emerging as leaders, and Ripke, one of the taller players of St. James, also seemed to be doing most of the ball handling duties. Looking for help right now. Good pressure defense by Salem. He hands it off to Southern. Southern takes a dribble, cuts inside. A lot of pressure. Nice hop step. Can't get the roll. Tip it. No good. And there's going to be a foul called on the floor. This one's on Salem. Let's see who it's on. It's on number 2. I don't have that down. Ben Griggs checked in. They'll make it. It's 14-12 now, and it's a 2-point game, Gian.
Absolutely.
Good ball movement inside, can't finish. And the tip goes to St. James. Gonna be another foul call. This one is on Caleb Bartholomew, his second team foul of the half, 5:19 to go. Texas clinging on to a 2-point lead. And there are 4 gyms here at Valparaiso. This is definitely the smallest one. This is definitely the hottest one temperature-wise. But throughout my experience here at Valpo, some of the best games that I've broadcasted and that I've witnessed are in this very gym. Why do you think that's? Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because the noise is so loud and so? I mean, I don't know, or maybe it's just one of those things.
It's one of the few gyms here at VU in which you're able to get a lot of crowd participation. As you can see along the baseline, there's your crowd, and they can really pump on the team. Most of the other gyms, the split in half, you don't really get that crowd participation.
This gym gets loud, and when it's close, you can expect fans from both sides will be on their feet cheering for their team. Salem unable to convert on that last offensive possession.
Nicholas Shipper's appears as if he's cooled off just a little bit.
Well, maybe not so much cooled off, but maybe they're concentrating on him a little more, or is it a little combination of both?
I think it's a combination of both, because St. James has continued to get a handout on his shot from the onset of the game after he made the first 3 that he did. They've continued to get a handout, it's just they were going in. Now the hand may be affecting them just a little bit more.
And when you make 4 3-pointers in one quarter, you're definitely going to get a little bit more attention than if you haven't.
Absolutely.
Sometimes players get into that zone where that rim looks like a hula hoop, and it seems like they can't miss, but after a few possessions, they might lose their hot hand. You just never know with the game of basketball. It's a game of momentum swings and rhythm. Ripke for 3. Square shoots no good. Can't get the handle. Rebound will go over to Gatewood. Here's Gatewood trying to get something going for Salem. St. James using some pressure. Dribbles it coast to coast.
And he gets rewarded there. Gets called for a blocking foul, but one of the few times you'll see Gatewood go coast to coast against the defense and attempt a shot. He had a few teammates open, but he saw the lane, and that's something that you have to reward. You have to reward a player who sees the lane and tries to get there.
You're exactly right. You got to take what the defense gives you. It's an old adage. Hunter Gatewood knocks down a 15-footer. Salem back on the board for the first time this quarter, 16-12. Here comes Ripke. Ripke looking for some help. He doesn't get it. He skips it across to Southern. Michael Southern inside. Michael Southern drives and draws the foul.
And he's a strong player for St. James. He absorbed the contact, gathered himself just enough to get the shot off. Too bad for him, it went off the side of the rim, but he's a strong player, able to get that shot off with the contact.
He's been a very steady ball handler so far, and he's not afraid to go to the rim and get contact, draw contact, and he's rewarded on this one, going to the foul line.
And that's good coaching. At this level, your 8th graders, you're just getting ready to transition. As we mentioned earlier, at this level, you don't have a certain position. Certain guys are more equipped to handle the ball. Certain guys are more equipped to play down low. But there are, at this level, some guys that are just able to play all around the court, which is something that he's able to do.
Second one on the way, and that one's long. But he tracks down his own rebound. How about that hustle? And St. James gets a new possession. And another foul drawn, and the Crusaders will go to the line. This time it's the forward, Ben Griggs, a big 6'2" 8th grader stepping up to the line. 3:28 to go.
And Ben Griggs is one of those players where he's more inept to playing down low. Otherwise, his counterpart, Peter Ripke, able to play out on the perimeter. So you just have that difference between guys. He plays down low. You're not going to see him handle the ball a whole lot.
There's going to be another foul on Salem, and Salem's starting to rack up some foul trouble. Do you think this plays into effect later on down in the game?
Absolutely. You need to have your best players out on the court when it gets later on, especially for a team like Salem who only has 3 players on their bench, so they're working with an 8-player rotation. You don't need your teammates to get into foul trouble.
And I just got to apologize to the folks at home. I'm thinking of a different St. James when I say they have Valpo experience. I just was notified from one of the fans that this is their first appearance here at Valparaiso. So to me, that's even more impressive as Southern hits the first, that they've come out this cool and collected. No pressure of the championship game.
Absolutely.
So first tournament appearance at Valpo for St. James and Lafayette. And that one won't go. But you know, Indiana basketball, it's almost a religion there, and this is, I'm very impressed with this St. James team, the way they've hung in there and battled so far.
Yeah, they've continued to run their offense. They haven't gotten outside themselves, which is in the first half is something that you want to see. Traditionally, teams that go down big are teams that try to play in their opposing team's element. Once you settle down and play in your own set and you continue to run your offense, you look up at the scoreboard, you may be down by 2, but you'll still be in the game.
Timeout called. 3:09 left to go in the second period. And as we head to halftime, this is the exact type of game that I expected. A close contested battle right here. Two very, very good quality teams going at it right now.
Oh yeah, Salem, you can't say enough about this team. It's a team, as I mentioned earlier, they're a state championship team, their third state championship team. So they know what it feels like to win, and they know what it feels like to compete at a high level. But St. James does as well. I don't have the particular background on St. James as far as their season play, but they appear to be a team that plays with poise, and they are very good at defense.
And a three-pointer from Parker Holla goes through the net. And three-point shooting really has been the name of the game for this Salem Saints squad. Turnover. Here comes the Saints. Saved it, no good. Ball goes and skips it across. And after all that, it's little Justin Seamers who grabs it down and draws a foul. And another team foul on Salem. They're in the bonus.
And that's just something that, as a coach, you're gonna have to talk to them about at halftime. But you've got to love the poise that Salem is playing with. You don't wonder why they're a state championship team when they're tracking down loose balls, they're tracking down open shots, they're looking around, getting their teammates involved. Ball handling is such a key in this game, and they've been able to execute very well so far.
And you know, it's a close game, but I think the difference right now is a three-point shooting by Salem has really helped them push this lead to, what is it, 4 now? And now 5. And if long-range shooting plays a factor down the stretch, I got to say advantage Salem, but right now their fouls are kind of helping St. James stay in the ballgame. Here's Ripke off the side of the glass, no good, tries to skip it out, tipped.
And a good idea by St. James, but you want to see a little bit more passing before the drive. You're in the bonus, you might as well continue to drive and continue to get to the free throw line.
St. James Lutheran School, if you're just joining us, home of the Crusaders in Lafayette, Indiana, taking on the Salem Lutheran Saints from Tomball, Texas. Right now, Salem clinging on to a 19-16 lead led by this guy right here, Nick Shippers, who's knocked down 4 triples. Here's another 3, and he banked it home off the glass. Parker Holla with another triple. And just like that, how many of their points have been from three-pointers so far? I don't even know.
They've gotten a lot of their points from the three-point line.
I would say most of them. I think 18 out of the 22 are from the 3-ball. And it's ironic because they can't seem to finish. Another 3, no good. Bounces around, and they're going to get another chance. And Gatewood says, let's slow this down. How can you lose this guy? Ball bouncing around, and St. James might have dodged a bullet there with those 3-pointers.
Yeah, they did. They
lost track of
the best three-point shooter on the court. But nonetheless, they're able to come away without any damage done. But again, for St. James, Michael Southern, a strong player. He just takes contact and continues to go up. He absorbs the contact like it's nothing and is able to get to the free throw line. That's going to come in handy later on down the game when points are going to be scarce and everything that you can get with no time coming off the clock at the free throw line is going to come in handy.
Well, but you also got to convert at the free throw line. That one no good. Here's Gatewood. But you're right, Southern is a very athletic kid. Oh, and a good bounce pass, and Michael Cortez just could not track it down.
Yeah, that's Gatewood at his finest, though. Running the court and dribbling with his head up. That's the second opportunity almost for Salem to get some easy points, though. Gatewood is getting them the ball. They just have to score it.
St. James a chance to answer back. Nice drive inside by Ripke, no good. Southern, no good. Gatewood winds up with the basketball, looking down court. He's got a man. No good off the iron, and Ripke flies in out of nowhere to haul down the rebound and draws the foul. So pretty helter-skelter sequence of events there, and after all of that and the dust settles, St. James will be at the foul line shooting.
And I'm really impressed by Hunter Gatewood's court vision at such an early age. He looks down court, and instead of giving it the extra dribble, he just outlets the ball, and he gets it, and he puts his teammates in a position to score.
Bounce pass all the way inside to the key. And right now, St. James having a little bit of trouble converting their foul shots. They're getting to the line, and they're doing a good job of drawing contact, but their inconsistencies from the line are starting to come into play here. 29 seconds to go in the half. It's 22-16, Salem with the lead. Second one on the way by Ripke. That one's good. And you hold for the last shot right here if you're the coach?
Absolutely. You hold for the last shot. Hold for the last shot of the half, hopefully, and make it a good one.
19 seconds to go. Salem's content to skip it around the perimeter. Pump fake, and nice stroke there by Nick Shippers with 9 seconds left. St. James is going to have to run. 6 seconds. 5. This is Ripke. 4, 3. Long three-pointer. Oh, just off the back of the iron, and we'll go into the half with the Salem Saints of Tomball, Texas, up by 7, 24-17 on the St. James Crusaders of Lafayette, Indiana. What did you see out of the first half from both teams, Dion?
What I saw out of the first half was definitely, these are two teams that are very good at execution. These kids have been coached very well, and they've been coached very well to the point where they know how to make adjustments. You saw earlier on Nicholas Shippers cashing in 4 3-pointers. After that, he went a little cold, but it wasn't more so that he was going cold. It was more so that they began to make an adjustment. They played around him, guarded the 3 a little bit well. They lost track of him a few times, but that will happen in this game. They did a very good job of adjusting to him, and they picked up Hunter Gatewood at the half. They brought forth a half-court trap, and it forced Salem Lutheran to have to make their own adjustments, which comes into my next point about Salem Lutheran. They made very good adjustments. They saw that Nicholas Shivers went a little cold and that they weren't going to manufacture a whole bunch of threes toward the end of that half, so they allowed Hunter Gatewood to do what he does best: create, get into the lane, and make shots for his teammates. He's got very good court vision, and he demonstrated that in the first half. Unfortunately for Salem, they weren't able to convert each time, but they converted enough to go into the half with a 24-17 lead.
So good adjustments, both offensive and defensively for both sides. We'll be right back with all the LBAA National Lutheran Basketball Tourney action right after the halftime. Well, welcome back to Valparaiso, Indiana. You're watching first round action from the National Lutheran Basketball Tournament of Champions. Salem Lutheran Saints from Tomball, Texas, taking on the St. James Crusaders of Lafayette, Indiana. I am Chris Neerman alongside Dion Robinson. And Dion, you talked about making adjustments. What kind of halftime adjustments do you think each team needs to make?
Right now we see immediately the halftime adjustment St. James has made. They come out in a shifting 2-3 zone.
Well, that's one way to cut down on perimeter shooting, and maybe that's one way that they can work themselves back out of this 7-point deficit. 5:42 to go. Salem content to work the ball around. Looking inside is Gatewood, and he's a kick. It'll stay here. Saints basketball.
One thing they'll look to do here now is force Salem to drive. They have to find holes now. This isn't a zone in which you can shoot your way out of it. You're going to have to drive the ball. You're going to have to find some type of area to get the ball up there.
And that's what you were talking about. Here's Southern. He can run. Nice crossover dribble. Stops and lays it in. So the Crusaders will get on the board first in the second half, 24-19. And good defensive set there for the Crusaders.
Now they'll fall back into a shifting 2-3 zone. And that's what Salem is going to do. They're going to shoot their way out of it, and something that you can't not credit them for doing.
Well, it was only a 2 there for Shippers. And now Ripke wants a 3 of his own. St. James showing they can do it from downtown also. 26-22 here. Nice shot there by Ripke. Saints gonna work the ball around. That one falls to the hands of Southern. Here's Southern, he wants to push it up the floor. I don't know if that was a pass or a shot there, but it falls into the hands of Ripke. And what was the call there? I missed it.
The call there was a travel there. They said he switched his pivot foot as he went up.
Okay, so the ball will go back over to the Saints. Gatewood, a 6'3", 8th grade guard. I almost said senior guard. 8th grade guard from Texas will try to set up the offense. Here's a 3-pointer, and no, a 2-pointer, excuse me. Caleb Bartholomew, and that shifting 2-3 zone isn't working. Do you think they need to make another adjustment?
Yeah, what they're doing is they started off in the shifting 3-2, and
nice,
then they fell back into a trapping 2-3, something that's not going to help a whole lot against the Salem team unless you force them to shoot until they're cold. Something that most coaches would rather you just let them shoot until they fall cold.
Well, right now, Salem has shown that they're anything but cold to start the second half, so 3:41 to go. Close game, 28-24.
I think more so to help in defense against Salem, you want to go back to that 3-2, put 3 players out on the perimeter.
I've even seen some teams today use that John Beeline 1-3-1 zone, and that's been effective. So all sorts of different teams, all sorts of different styles here at Valparaiso, and that's one of the neat things to kind of come here and see throughout the weekend. Turnover by the Crusaders.
It was a good idea there by Southern, but just a bit of a miscommunication.
Long 3, a little long off the iron, battle for the rebound. It bounces around and ends up in the hands of Gatewood. And a good effort there by Ripke, but he can't save the ball, so it'll stay white. Timeout, St. James.
And Peter Ripke is one of those players. He's a high-energy player, and he's very effective at what he does. He can score, and he'll hustle for the ball. So that's something in this tournament, that's something that you're going to need out of all 5 of your players and not just one. You need them to hustle.
I agree, and I can definitely tell that his teammates feed off his energy. He's one of the 8th grade leaders on this squad, and right now he's showing them that they can get it done.
none better than leading by example. Not one of those guys that's going to come down on his teammates. He's going to lead by example, which is something that you love to see at this level.
Saints will start with possession. They're up 28-24 now. 2:52 left to go in the third, and it's been a great game all game, just as we had predicted. Here's Gatewood, strong off the iron. Southern with the rebound. Saints want to run. He looks up, looks inside. No, this is Southern. No, this is not Southern. This is Griggs. Griggs can't get the shot to drop. And after all of that, it's Griggs who winds up with the ball, and then he draws a loose ball foul.
Absolutely. That's called staying with the ball. And we just saw a few minutes ago, we just spoke on it, Peter Ripke feeding off of his intensity. He was down in that scrimmage too, so Griggs definitely feeding off his teammates' energy.
And in a close game, sometimes it's that extra little effort that'll push a team over to the top. Nice running shot there by Pete Ripke. And it's a 2-point game, 28-26. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the third, and a timeout, Texas. Dion, Crusaders from St. James creeping their way back in it. How are they doing it?
They're just playing very, very aggressively, and they're getting what they want. It's been all them in this quarter. What you would want to see them do, though, is make the adjustment to switch out of the 2-3 and back in the 3-2. I really think that was something that, to their credit, was something that would definitely hinder this Salem team as far as shooting, but nonetheless, they've been coached very well, and they've done a very good job so far in this quarter. It's been the play of Peter Ripke and continuing the play of Michael Southern. They've been feeding off each other and getting their teammates points.
And it seems to me that the St. James was the team that came out with more energy to start the second half, and they're reaping the benefits of that, cutting into this deficit. Now it's only 2. It'd be interesting to see if Salem, out of the timeout, will be able to match that intensity going as we end the third and go into the final quarter.
Absolutely. Salem, this is a winning team. Salem is not going to go down without a fight, and they're not going to give up this lead without a fight.
Well, ever since I embarrassed myself and thought it was a different St. James and said that they had experience and found out this is their first tournament appearance, I've been even more impressed with their composure and the way they've handled themselves. They could have easily folded after several swings of the game didn't go their way, but they've hung in there. Now they find themselves down by only 2. Here's Southern with the rebound. Gives it up to Ripke. Ripke wants to drive. Ripke goes inside, stops. Good decision to kick it out to Southern. Southern drives, and he'll draw the foul again. Southern, like we've been saying all game, such a strong player, and he's going to go to the line. They had some problems converting from the charity stripe in the first half. And down by 2 with 1:44 left to go in the third. Let's see if they can do it here.
Well, this is the part that's going to add to his game. He can get to the line, but the line doesn't mean as much as it could if you're unable to convert.
And can't get that one to go. Checking in for the Saints is number 4, Joe Vedeventer. Checking in for the Salem Saints is, forget it, I lost him. Gets that one.
It happens, it's a long tournament, long stat sheets here.
Had to memorize about 5 different rosters today, so please bear with me. Here's one name I do know, Hunter Gatewood skipping it over. And Nick Shippers with the answer. 30-27. Nice play right off of that free throw for Salem, Texas.
And here's Salem with their 3-2 zone. Going to put their taller players out on the perimeter.
Long 3, Ripke very short. Gatewood looking up. Finds Holla. Holla inside, and he's going to get the foul and the basket.
A tremendous look ahead from Gatewood, as I mentioned earlier, putting the ball where his teammates can score, and there's one finish for the tournament there. It takes the contact and finishes the shot.
And that's a perfect example of Hunter Gatewood's court vision off the short miss. He turns, looks up, sees that he's got a man, and hits him with a perfect pass in stride. And Parker Holla gets a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
And a heads-up play by Hunter Gatewood. Turns around, could have easily got the jump ball, continue with it, got the steal.
Almost paid off. Ripke inside, Ripke driving, no good. Nice offensive rebound by Southern! And Southern puts it in with a chance to answer. So it seems like every time a team gets a big play, the other team answers back with a big play of their own.
These are two winning teams here. They have winning attitudes, and you can tell each player here continuing to make each shot count.
Neither team seems to be perplexed, and Southern struggles from the line continue, so he cannot complete the three-point play. Right now, it's a 4-point game. Salem, Texas on top by 4. 45 seconds to go in the third. Nice look inside. That's Nick Shippers.
And even at this level, I don't think I would have made that pass myself. At the college level, that was a great look by Hunter Gatewood.
Got tremendous
even better
court
cut
vision.
by Nicholas Shippers.
And it's easy to see why they have him down in the role for point guard. He's made some outstanding passes, and his decisions have been perfect. Here come the Saints. Chance to add on to a 6-point advantage. Gatewood inside, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it back up, no good. Another offensive rebound, and he puts it in. And as that ends the third quarter, Salem has pushed their lead out to 8.
They have, and they, midway through the third quarter, you saw Salem fall back on their heels just a little bit. It was a 2-point game. St. James had pushed the envelope, and they were executing very well, but this is why you call a team like Salem Lutheran a winning team. They took the blow, and they played well. They played through it, and they made the adjustments that they needed to make.
Well, they also have led the whole game since early in the first quarter, and St. James has made some runs at them, but they've never really been able to overtake them and reclaim the lead. It'll be interesting to see, facing their toughest challenge so far, down 8, excuse me, largest lead for either team in the game, to see if they can answer that big momentum swing at the end of the third quarter and respond in the fourth. And I think it's got to come down to the leadership of Mike Southern and Peter Ripke to see if they can get that done. Also, Ben Griggs is thrown in there as well. These are 8th graders. They're playing in what could be their final tournament. They've got to come out and answer strong if St. James wants to mount a comeback.
This fourth quarter is going to come down to 4 players. It's going to be Nicholas Shippers as well as Hunter Gatewood for Salem Lutheran, and for St. James it's going to be Michael Southern and Peter Ripke. But the thing that you have to have here is you know that they're going to play to their fullest ability, and you know that they're going to play tough. But the team that gets that one extra player to give them that spark is going to be the team that takes this game away.
Southern no good, and nice hustle to get the jump ball. The thing that impresses me about Southern is whenever he shoots, he doesn't head back. He always follows his shots, and that time it paid off with the jump ball. Going to put a little bit of half-court pressure on. Broken easily by Salem. They're going to drive.
And the Gatewood wisely brings it back out, uses the screen.
17-footer, nothing but nylon. And right now they've pushed their lead up to double digits, largest lead of the game for Salem. They got to look inside. This zone is really, seems to be frustrating St. James. Oh, wow, and what a block, and oh, what almost a great steal.
And again, it's Peter Ripke. The impact play almost makes it, but he's a high-energy player.
Almost came up with another steal there. They've got to watch their passes. Gatewood gives it up. Three-pointer. Good. And the lead's up to 13. 5:06 is this time where you really have to start thinking about putting a little pressure on full court.
Absolutely. This is the coach here, a wise timeout. He's going to make the adjustment here, and he's going to make it right now. He's probably going to stress to his team But we've got to bear it down, guys. We can't allow this lead to be extended because we don't have the time where we would in a high school, maybe college level, where we have the extra time in the fourth quarter. You've got to do it here, and you've got to do it now. You've got to chip away at this lead to put yourself in position with maybe a minute left to either strike to take the lead or strike to hang in there.
Yeah, and realistically, you'd really want to get it down to about 4 or 5 points by the 2-minute mark. So right now, they've got the ball, and you just gotta tell them. If I'm Coach Dustin Johnson, I'm telling you, hey guys, they hit a bunch of big threes early on. We came back. They started to extend their lead in the third quarter. We came back. Now we're facing our biggest challenge yet. Are you going to hang in there, or are you going to disappear? And I think this is a St. James team that's definitely capable of hanging in there. They've got 3 solid 8th graders out there right now that have picked it up all game, but they cannot afford these kind of turnovers. Hunter Gatewood with the steal and the follow, and right now the lead is up to 15. Ripke needs to get something going offensively. He's going to set up the offense for his squad. This 3-2 zone is really throwing off the Crusaders right now.
It is, and I think it's specifically the defense of Hunter Gatewood.
Well, that's just what the doctor ordered. Southern, a chance for a 3-point play, but he's had his difficulties at the line today.
He has. I mean, at this level, he's got a good form. As you can see, he's playing off his off-shooting leg. So he's got a good form. All he has to do is follow through and release. What it appears that he's having a problem with is just simply his release. And it comes down to simply getting your hands straight and releasing the ball. As you can see, he releases just a little bit late. And instead of snapping, he just snaps backwards instead of forward. And it's just something that you just have to work on.
Just one of those little things that a lot of times when we watch these games on air, we forget that these kids are in junior high school. And I'm in college, you're in college, and we're critiquing the form. I'm not much better at basketball than these guys, and I played here when I was in 7th grade.
Absolutely.
Rush shot there by Southern.
It's one of those things that either you're going to make it work or you're just going to have to work to make something else work.
A lot of players with a lot of high school, maybe even college potential for basketball. They're going to put some pressure on. Not a bad idea. I think a good way for St. James is to take the ball strong to the rack. Try to see if you can get to the foul line and convert, because free throws are a great way to make a comeback late in the game because they don't take time off the clock, and it's an uncontested 15-footer.
Absolutely. You got to continue to try to drive the ball in and get to the line. What about now? Now isn't the time that you want to rush up desperation threes. You've got 4 minutes left to chip into this lead. What you need to do is get you some stops. In that last play, you saw a little bit of a press issue for Hunter Gatewood. But one of the few times in this game he's had a little bit more trouble bringing the ball up. You put Michael Southern on him. He's longer. He's more equipped to deal with the ball handling of Hunter Gatewood. You put him on there, and you tell your defense behind him to knuckle up and to play strong.
All comes down to a matter of determination and execution, making adjustments at this level, and right now it's been Salem that's made the adjustments this quarter and rushed out to a big lead, 46-31. Long free air, Southern. The foul's going to be on Salem, and St. James will take the ball from underneath the basket.
And the late sub. Going to bring in Daniel O'Connor.
Southern inside, Southern rejected, tied up. The arrow will point to blue.
Excuse me, that was Nicholas Gulick that came in for Salem Lutheran, the late substitution.
Looking for some help. Nice feed inside to Southern. That's a textbook out of bounds play. Ripke guarding Shippers, man on. 3 minutes and 33 seconds left to go, so we'll see what happens. Ball no good, bounce around Ripke, can't get it, falls in the hands of Shippers, and they'll work it up. Good pressure by St. James. Gatewood, long off the iron. Gatewood gets his own rebound. Gatewood steps inside, no good, and he'll go to the line.
And he's done a very good job of using both his hands around the basket, using both the left and the right hand. Able to get the ball up and under. A little bit more English off the glass, and that goes in, but nonetheless, gets to the line. Hopefully to put up 2 more points for his team.
That one rattles around, no good. So 1 more shot to go. Texas clinging on to a 13-point lead with 3 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the final stanza. The shot is up, and that one's no good. And Southern with the rebound, so maybe a little window of opportunity here for St. James. Ripke calls out the play. Rolls off the screen, looks inside. Southern tipped away, and they're putting Hunter Gatewood inside on Michael Southern whenever he touches the ball down there. What do you think about that strategy? Gatewood is one of the guards, but he's guarding down low in the post.
It was one of those things where we mentioned earlier, one player can do a lot.
Nice rebound inside. He'll get fouled and get sent to the bucket.
Gatewood's got the ability to aggravate the shot of Michael Southern, and he's got the physical ability to not allow Michael Southern to get whatever shot he wants down low. So he's their ball handler, but he's able defensively to defend virtually any player on the court.
Griggs, that shot up no good. Rebound Ripke. And a foul is going to be called, and don't look now, but St. James with the chance to cut it into single digits. We have a problem with the scoreboard, so we'll replay this one. And no, we won't replay this. St. James in the single bonus. So they'll be shooting free throws the rest of the game, and 2 minutes and 53 seconds. We talked about getting to the foul line to cut into the lead. This could be the opportunity that St. James is looking for. We're talking about maybe fouls coming back to play later in the game. This could be it. Ripke at the foul line. First one up, and that one's good. It's really the one who's had no problems at the charity stripe today.
Yeah, and I hate to sound like I'm coming down on these kids, but now is the time where you need to convert your free throw.
To cut it to a 9-point deficit. Ripke at the line. Second one up, no good. Rouse home with the loose ball. Southern had it, but he was on the line, so it'll go white ball, and the pressure by St. James. Let's see if this pays off. Like we said, you want to get it down to 4, 5, maybe even 6 points in order to effectively, like your chances going into the final 2 minutes.
It is. They've fought hard to get the lead to within 10 right now, so he's got to continue to play hard.
Salem, nice job getting it to Gatewood. He's got numbers. Inside, lost the handle, pressure, Gatewood. Nice feed inside, and Ripke almost landed on his man, but it lands out of bounds, so there's another turnover from Salem. Opportunity, St. James. Ripke with the ball, 2.5 to go. Final stanza, he'll hand it off to Southern. Ripke off the screen. Southern's going to shoot a 3 instead. Southern no good. Ball bouncing around. Rebound goes inside. Skips it over to Ripke. Ripke. Oh, and a pass intercepted. And Salem gets possession of the basketball. Bouncing around, no good. Ripke with the steal. Ripke, no one in front of him, and he scores! Down to 8 points now. No good. Southern with the rebound. Maybe an ill-advised shot there by Salem. You've got the lead. And they'll go to the line. So 38-46. You get the ball all the way down. I know you have an open look at the basket, but wouldn't you rather pull it out and burn some clock, or was the pressure just too intense?
I mean, if you have the opportunity like they did to put up 2 extra points, you'd probably rather take 2 points more so than a few extra seconds off the clock. I mean, it was a good attempt. You would like to see it go, but at this time of the game, you probably would have to pull that ball back. But how about St. James, this 8-2 run here to pull closer to Salem?
Well, like we said, you want to get 4 to 6 points within the 2-minute mark. And right now, they are 1 free throw away from a 7-point deficit. There it is. So we'll stay. This pressure really giving Salem fits. Southern tipped it. Got to be careful with those inbound passes.
And these are the 2 most dangerous players in the front court for St. James.
Here's Gatewood tipped. Oh, and what an unfortunate break. Ball goes right to him, and he missed. So 144, St. James with the ball, and they've got a little bit of momentum heading in to the final minute and a half. Skips it over to Southern. Southern inside, wide open, and he's fouled. Like we said, free throws don't take time off the clock, and they're an uncontested 15-foot shot.
Absolutely. These are the points that you want to get.
And imagine how it would be for St. James if they'd converted some more of their free throws down the stretch.
Absolutely. I mentioned earlier, I hate to make it seem like I'm coming down on these kids. They're all very well coached. It's just the little things, as we mentioned earlier on in the game, the little things are going to be the things that decide whether you win the game or not.
Little things like free throws, and he got that one. He's cut it to within 6. We talked about that magic number 5 that you want to get by the 2-minute mark. Well, it's a little bit past that, but nevertheless, St. James seems to be riding a whole flood of momentum ending this game. And you got to give credit, no matter who wins this game. But it's just been, for me, it's just been a great game to watch.
And this is a great way to start off the tournament for both teams.
Talking about this earlier, you know, it doesn't really matter the first round game. Of course, you want to go deep. You want to go and play in Championship Sunday. But I've seen cases where teams that lose the first day end up going really deep into the consolation bracket, and teams that and a double dribble, teams that lose, or teams that win the first game end up losing the next 2. So it really all depends on how things pair up momentum, and these are 2 very quality teams on the floor right now. A minute and a half. St. James down by 5. Ripke off the screen. He's looking for some help, gives it over to Southern. Southern back to Ripke. Ripke guarded by the 3. Good! Unbelievable! They've cut it to 2. Salem looking a little frantic right now, trying to get the ball up. This has been the man all game. Nice feed inside, and they'll go up, back up. 48-44, just under a minute to go. Salem on top of St. James with 50 seconds. Here's Ripke. Ripke dribbling around, looking. He's feeling it. Can he get 2? No! And it's going to go out of bounds. Wow, what can you say about after that 30 seconds?
Justin Seamers from St. James. 5 key points. If you remember, earlier on in the 4th quarter, around the 3-minute mark, he went to the free throw line, stepped up, and made 2 key free throws to usher back his run for St. James. Now he comes back off the left side. The wide open 3 gets it to go and pulls the team to within 2. So Justin Seamers here emerging from a sea of players here. We mentioned earlier, we already knew what 4 players this game was going to come down to, but the team that could get that extra piece, the team that could get that extra player.
It's all about the role players.
The team that could get that extra player would probably have the better chance of winning this game. Still, though, St. James faces 44 seconds, the clock against them. They have a 4-point deficit to try to climb back from.
Yeah, and the ball points in favor of Salem. Definitely 3 things not going in favor of St. James right now, but you got to hand these tip your hat to these kids for merely making a comeback. It was a 15-point deficit a mere 3 minutes ago, and they've cut into it. And just a minute ago, it was a 2-point deficit. Right now, this full court press really giving Salem a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, they're not allowing Hunter Gatewood to bring the ball up, which is in turn making it hard to set up the offense.
Here's Shippers. Watch him go by. They want to cut off as much time off the clock as possible. In the corner, not where you want to be. And a good decision to call timeout there. 30 seconds to go, 48-44.
Something you fans at home have to remember here, there's no shot clock. 33 seconds, though it may seem like an eternity, that's when you have a 35 and a 24-second shot clock.
Well, 33 seconds. Let's give you the rundown. The Salem Saints of Texas are on top of the St. James Crusaders of Lafayette, Indiana, 48-44 right now with 33 seconds to go in the game. Salem's going to inbound from the side. St. James down by 2 possessions. What do they have to do in order to get back in this game? And what do you want to do if you're Salem in order to walk away with this and hold on to the lead?
Well, let's start off with the latter. If you're Salem, you just want to hold this ball and you want to use as much of the clock as possible for someone to have to foul you, step up, knock down your free throws. If you're St. James, you want a turnover without fouling. Get a chance to get a turnover without fouling, possibly get the ball back again and score without taking time off the clock via free throws.
Well, there you have it. They'll inbound from the side. Playing up man-to-man, looking inside. And they got in the corner, gets it back out quickly, and that's a good decision to foul right away. And it's a one-on-one situation. So now it's Salem's turn for some big free throws.
Absolutely. St. James, go for the steal first. If you can't get the steal, get the foul with as much time left on the clock as possible. Reddick Dennison steps to the line, misses the first one.
Opportunity for St. James. St. James with the basketball, 23 seconds left to go, 48-44. Michael Southern, we're inbound. Here's Ripke. Ripke wide open. He got it! And now what do you want to do here?
You need a foul.
Or a steal. 8 seconds, 7, Southern with the ball. Southern inside, no good. And there's going to be a foul with 3 seconds left. Oh my goodness, everything seemed to be going St. James' way. And just like that, wow. Ripke decided to haul a full court pass with about 16 seconds left, and it actually landed in the hands of Michael Southern, the guy he wanted to get it to.
Absolutely.
But Southern took a step in and could not finish, just short to go ahead bucket. And now Salem's going to step up to the free throw line to possibly ice this game. 48-47, 3 seconds to go.
And Michael Southern, he sinks into the bench here, but there's nothing to hang your head about here. That was a great attempt to even, first of all, field the ball, shield it from being stolen, and go up against 3 defenders and still get a good shot. I mean,
nothing to hang your head about. And then an even better idea to foul immediately with when you know you only have a few seconds left to go to give your team a fighting chance, even if it's a small one.
He's done almost all he could to get his team back in the game here, and nothing to hang your head about. He got a very good, through all of that, he got a very good attempt up at the basket. Normally he's able to field the contact and still make the shot. Just wouldn't go for him that time, but I mean, and questionably so. Could he have possibly gotten a foul on that play and went to the line? That looked to be as if there was a lot of contact. on that
But you
play.
know the refs will almost always hold their whistle in that situation and leave it to the players.
Without question, that's something that you can't allow the whistle to control the outcome of the game.
Here's the deal: a one-on-one free throw. If Hunter Gatewood misses this, they're going to need to fire it deep. If he makes one, he gets a second. If he makes two, they'll still have to launch a desperation three-pointer. That first one's good.
You've got 3 seconds, and right about now, you're telling your kids, the ball comes down, you grab it, and you look towards the other rim. You don't have time to make a pass. You don't have time to possibly dribble the ball.
3 seconds, and that's going to do it. That's going to do it. Two powerhouses slugging it out, and what a great one it was in the North Gym. Salem Lutheran Saints of Tomball, Texas win a nail-biter over St. James Crusaders of Lafayette, Indiana, and this is just one of those games. It was so fun to watch, but you got to feel for either way it was going to go. You were going to feel for the loser because two well-quality teams just played a great ball game, and these losses like this are always tough to take.
It was a great game from both teams. Both of these teams, despite the outcome, are winners. Salem, the winners, because, hey, they won the game. And truth be told, they fought off all the runs that St. James made at them. St. James, they're winners in my book simply because they fought back desperately and found a way to get themselves back into this game. They ran at Salem, and they continued to play hard.
You're absolutely right. Salem, tip your hats to Salem for holding on at the end and making crucial plays down the stretch. But how about that comeback from St. James? We were just talking at about the 3.5-minute mark, down by 15, when all seemed hopeless. It seemed every time Salem made a run, St. James came right back and answered, and in the end, unfortunately, it was just the time that ran out on them.
Yeah, absolutely. It was simply the time that ran out on them. They didn't allow themselves to lose the game. They just couldn't fight back from that deficit at the time in which they had. But even still, they had a golden opportunity down the stretch to take the lead, as a matter of fact. It just didn't come to fruition for them. Michael Southern, again, a great shot attempt. He was able to, first of all, field the ball in, and even to get up an attempt, that's a great play all in itself. So, again, St. James, a fantastic team here, and I'm going to enjoy watching them throughout the tournament as well as watching Salem. You can't say a lot. You can't say not enough about them. I mean, they fielded all of the St. James's comebacks. They fielded all of their runs, and they were able to win the game.
Yep, and anyone who just watched this game in the North Gym knows that they saw two quality teams that could easily find themselves playing on Sunday. Well, that's going to do it for the first round of play. Stay tuned next for high school action for Chris Neerman and Deion Robinson. This has been the National Lutheran 2009 basketball tourney at Valparaiso.